Premier League hits and misses. Arsenal's Martin Odegaard best midfielder in Premier League right now. We reflect on Sunday's Premier League action as Arsenal's Martin Odegaard is hailed as the Premier League's best midfielder right now. Casemiro's red card could see the midfield partnership return for Manchester United. Is there a changing of the guard up front for Newcastle? Right now Martin Odegaard is the number one. Normally you'd say Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfield player, not just in the Premier League but in the world. Something isn't quite right, he's not playing as many games as he'd like. But Odegaard does this thing which all great players possess, it's like time stands still when he has the ball. Most players, especially midfield players, because we're not used to getting in those scoring situations, the calmness he possesses. He's scored 4 or 5 goals like he did against Fulham, with that left foot. He's the captain, he's the leader. He's leading that team. When he hasn't got the ball he goes and presses it and it catches. Jamie Redknapp, report and highlights. Fulham 0-3 Arsenal. How the teams lined up, match stats. He's a different player to De Bruyne but he's always got a solution. When he comes into a tight space, he finds the right solution and very calmly. He doesn't have as many assists as De Bruyne because he's not that kind of player. But other things he does, he's doing them so elegantly and so well. It's a pleasure to watch him. Leandro Trossard produced an excellent performance against Fulham. There was a period of no more than 10 seconds in the second half at Craven Cottage which typified Leandro Trossard's display. It began with him sprinting back to make a tackle and prevent a counter, and ended with him driving forward with the ball at his feet. Trending. Hits and misses. Odegaard best place midfielder, Casemiro red to see, McFurd, back. Papers. Liverpool and Man Utd join race for Paulina. Casemiro faces 4-game ban. Ten Hag criticizes, inconsistent, refereeing. Sources close to Lineker confident of BBC resolution in next 24 hours. Transfer Centre Live. Beale hasn't discussed Sevilla links with Morelos. Arteta hails Trossard impact. Jesus has to earn his place. Scheffler stars to win the players and secure number 1 return. MOTD2 to only be 14 minutes as BBC want Lineker back on air. Walker Peters racially abused online after Man Utd game. Hadn't surprised by shock second at the players. Video. Latest news. The Belgian started the game as Arsenal's false 9 but in truth he was everywhere, his intensity and energy in and out of possession setting the tone for an excellent team performance. He was involved in more or less every Arsenal attack before his 78th minute withdrawal and contributed to each of the 3 goals directly, registering a hat-trick of assists and deservedly claiming the Player of the Match award. In the space of around 25 minutes, he set up as many goals as any other Premier League player has managed in 2 months since his Arsenal debut. In total, he has produced 5 assists since his move from Brighton and scored 1 goal himself, against Brentford. His impact is precisely what Arsenal were hoping for when they paid £27 million to sign him in January and is easy to forget, in that context, that he was not their first choice. Right now, it feels like a blessing that Chelsea beat them to Mykhailo Mudryk. This game was supposed to be about the returning Gabriel Jesus, back in the squad for the first time since November following his knee injury. Instead, it was a reminder that Trossard will not give up his place easily. The 28-year-old is showing his worth.